Okay, so now we're putting this more in a very street context, not just the positions from a street context, but how he's likely to move and react. So sometimes the transition from a classic mount to a Russian mount is not as tight as it needs to be in competition, because you're not fighting a trained guy, but you're fighting a big, huge guy who's destabilizing you. So we want to turn disadvantages into advantages. So when he pushes on me, again, I don't give him anything to work, push hard. I can post on him. I can lift myself right up like this. Now, a trained guy's going to be able to get out of there a lot of the time because of the space I'm making, but a guy on the street may not be able to. He's not thinking about what space I'm making. He's thinking about trying to push me. So I take away the power of his arms and my hips. You see how my hips are behind his elbows? This is pretty good. Now from here I can push his head down, and then I can make a transition. Now, if I was fighting a trained guy, I wouldn't make a transition like that because I need to be tighter. I need to be more careful. But on the street, I can expedite. I can be smoother and faster and do things like that. So again, let's just look at one of those street transitions. I'm going to have a middle ground here from a classic mount, which has its place. Certainly you can do this, but again, a lot of the times in real fights, you're on hard surfaces, and you may be fighting a huge guy, and you don't want to spend an hour wearing him out and getting your knees as beat up as he is. Okay, then they start to get sand, and you can be as tough, I'm so tough, this is never, I would just ignore it. Well, you know, I've been there, and once your knees start getting banged up and they start to swell, your brain makes you put less pressure on them, and suddenly you're more unstable. You're afraid to post with your knee, even if you want to. Your brain is saying, oh, there's an injury there, and so you're not putting as much pressure, and suddenly you get rolled over. Okay, I don't want to go into details, but believe me, this stuff happens all the time. The guy's pushing on me. I'm going to use my hips to clean those big, huge arms. So no matter how big he is, as long as I don't give him something to push against like this, I go here, and I get, oh, come all the way up. I can actually raise my hips off the ground. Now push back. It's really hard for me. I'm fighting his arms with my hips. Okay, you know? Now again, this could cause problems if he really knew what he's doing. He could take the small amounts of space that I'm making and begin his defenses. He's an untrained guy. Now from here, look how his arms cross. If you want to, you can go into one of your classic control positions. This kind of stuff here, and then I turn into a classic side mount, okay? We covered this to some degree, but now this is a good position to hit the guy, all right? And of course, I can transition to an arm lock again just by putting the arm through, okay? So let's look at that one again, because that's a really good one that a lot of the time we use body weight to do. You know, the way I was taught in the old days, you set the arm up by doing body weight from the classic mount. Good way to do it, but again, we're on the context of saving our knees from, you just hit the ground, you got out of your car, fight starts, you're on gravel. Right now there's a huge rock digging into my knee. He starts pushing on me, so I'm going to transition this way. Now nothing is touching the ground here except for my feet. Yeah, I can hit the guy, of course, but what I want to do is get into this classic position here. Okay, and then I roll in here. This one, again, it's very old school. I'm just holding his wrist here. Most of you have probably seen this, especially if you're familiar with Jiu-Jitsu, but because it's old school, it's getting ignored a lot. Now play your arm up, hard. It's hard for him to get out, not because he's not a big, strong guy, he's big and strong, it's because his arm is dysfunction. So a lot of people think that I'll never be able to hold the guy. Nah, why don't I get two arms here? Because the arm just isn't built to be strong in this position. And then if he's about to get out, well, of course, you let him pull the arm out, and then whoosh, you pull it, you go with the arm lock. We covered that before, okay? But I wanted to show you some ways to use these positions that are more conducive to the street than just the way you're going to do them on the mats.